Hello and welcome to speaking section of TOEFL 2026. Speaking task 1 is a task about listening and repeating the sentence. Let's go into details. So in this task you're going to hear a sentence once and you have to repeat it exactly and clearly as you heard this sentence. There is no preparation time and your response will be immediate after you hear the piece of an audio. This task is very different, or this whole speaking section of new TOEFL is very different from old format where we had at least 15 seconds in the first task or 20 or even 30 seconds in integrated speaking. In this new format, you won't have any preparation time, which makes it more difficult to use templates. But we're going to talk about templates more in speaking task 1. In speaking task 2. In speaking task 1, there is no need for templates. You have to repeat what you just heard, and there are different approaches to do that. But firstly, let's finish with details and timing. So as you could understand, there is no transcript, and you will hear a beep, after which you have to repeat what you just heard. One task of listen and repeat consists of 7 audio inputs, less than 2 minutes in total. So each piece is usually from 7 to 10 seconds long. In a test, you'll get only one task of this type. So you have to be very careful about speaking part because it gets shorter. You only have two tasks instead of 4, as it was before. You have no more than 10 seconds for each response. What you have to focus? You have to focus on exact wording, intelligibility, intonation, and stress. Let's go into more details. Let's talk about scoring, because in TOEFL 2026 scoring is also different from old format of the TOEFL. Before, total raw score that you could get for the speaking task was 4 points, and now it is 5. Let's talk more about what is more important for new scoring. To get the 5 points out of 5, you have to repeat exactly and clearly what you heard. Every word should be correct and easy to understand. To get 4 points, you can have small mistakes, but meaning should be same and mostly clear. 3 points, you can get some parts right, some missing or unclear, and meaning might not be fully clear. So as you can see, all parts of scoring is about how clear you speak, and this is the most important part. You have to focus on your pronunciation and pronunciation of individual words. Which strategies you can use in this task? First of all, you have to focus on clarity. What does this mean? You have to speak slow and pay attention to pronouncing every single word correctly. The most misleading part in this is repeating, because the task name is listen and repeat, and you just naturally feel that you have to copy what you just heard. And this is totally wrong, because in this task you'll hear the speech of native speakers, which is often too fluent and very fast. You don't have to repeat the same, okay? This is very important to understand, that your speech will often or almost always will be much longer than the thing or this audio prompt that you heard in the task. And it is okay, this is totally fine, because you have to focus on clarity. It is not your native language, and everyone understands this. So you have to focus on correct pronunciation, and it is much less important of how fast you speak it. You don't have to be fluent. And as you could see in the previous slide, in scoring, fluency is by far not the most important criteria by which you're going to be scored. It is the clarity. It is the way how you pronounce words. So of course, when you're preparing for this task, you have to have enough of audio input of spoken English so you can understand how to pronounce each word. And in this case, it's very important to focus on American English, because TOEFL is an American test. So as I said, you do not need to speak exactly same as what you heard. The task is to repeat everything correctly, not to match the speaker's speed or his or her accent. And almost always your reply will be much longer. And this is completely fine. Let's go to the next strategy, chunk and notes. You can mentally chunk phrases as you hear them and split into some parts, especially if you hear some keywords like name, location, or time. So you can as well do some quick notes on a paper. But practically speaking, this is a hard thing. And while practicing using the practice materials after the speaking block, you can try to do the notes. To me, it feels that taking notes is rather hard in this task. So try to memorize what you've heard, and training your short-term memory is very important in this task. So focus on shadowing the melody and stress, copying the rhythm, and trying to feel what was spoken next. As we talk about the clearance, and the clear articulation is very important thing to understand and to practice. So find the weak spots, and what you should focus is in this task is open vowels. So fully release final consonants like T, D, K, N. Avoid fillers. This is also very important because we focus so much on clarity, and these fillers like will decrease your score immediately, because you should at least keep the space empty rather than use these fillers. So it is important to train your weak pairs like R, L, T, S, V, B. Like you can see in the table, you can see some examples of these words. For example, it's really, rural, six, strengths, vulnerable, and believable. And the way how you can practice like some platforms like on Test Succeed, but also just by recording your own voice and by comparing to the original input. This is very useful, and you don't need any extra materials to do this. You just record your voice and see which sounds or which part is missing. After doing couple of recordings, you can clearly see that this part is, or this point is the weakest, so you can practice it more. Now let's go to an actual example. And here it is important to understand that along with an actual audio input, you're going to have some introduction, like you're helping new students learn about the library. Listen to your supervisor and repeat what she says. Repeat only once. This is just the directions. But apart from the direction, you see some picture of to how this topic which you're going to hear. And for now, based on ETS example, it might be the case that you might be able to see every single part of it on a picture, and you might be able to link it. We're not 100% sure that this will be the case on every single exam. It might be not available, so some pictures might be too abstract and not related to every single part of the audio input. Better not to rely on the image. If it's the case, it is good for you, but better to practice without this extra help or extra hints. Okay, so let's start.
Welcome to the University Library.
I'll give you some time to actually recall to what you heard and to repeat it out loud or mentally inside your head, and then I'll tell you what is the answer. Welcome to the University Library.
Please keep your voice low while inside the reading areas.
Could you hear it? Please keep your voice low while inside the reading areas.
Books can be borrowed for up to 2 weeks at a time.
Books can be borrowed to up to 2 weeks at a time.
Return all borrowed items to the front desk or the return box near the entrance.
Return all borrowed items to the front desk or to the box in the entrance. Is it correct? Yes, but I missed the word return box. Okay, this was a rather hard example. I haven't practiced before, so let me make some mistakes.
Food and drinks are not allowed near computers or study materials.
Food and drinks are not allowed near computers or study materials. That is correct.
If you need research assistance, our librarians are available from 9 to 5.
If you need research assistance, our librarians are available from 9 to 5. And the last one.
Printing and copying services are located on the second floor.
Could you hear it? Printing and copying services are located on the second floor. So now we are done with this task, and you could have a sense of which information or which kind of audio input you're going to have in this task. And now you can proceed to our practice, or you can watch the second part, which is about the second task, and then you can master mock test of speaking by yourself.